Hey guys, this is attempt number 2 of this video. Why? Because the other video was like almost 12 minutes long. It was uneventful. Like the energy was like not there. I was like, I guess I had to make a YouTube video, and honestly, that's how I felt. But try number 2. Hopefully, it works. I'm right here in my mirror. Oh, that my mother-in-law bought me from IKEA, and I'm sitting in my little ottoman yet again. And no, I'm not naked, but I'm not gonna stand up for you to see my underwear. Even though I'm pretty sure there's a video of me trying on my swimsuits. I think, yeah, you've seen it, but I'm not gonna show you right now because otherwise that'd be pervy. That one was different, showing swimsuits. This one, I'm just chilling at my house. And without further ado, I part my hair like I did back in the 90s. 1998, 1997, I used to do my hair like this. And it'll be nice and long, right in the middle. I would tell people like, oh yeah, I had my grandma do it. Yeah, so cool. I look back and I'm like, why the hell would I say something like that? It's so uncool. And then a friend of mine, he would say, yeah, I grab baby oil, and he would just put it in his hair and have it all nice and shiny. And then I started doing it, but it was too much oil. That was so oily all the time. I would grab paper from my notebook and be like, never doing this again. So I did that like twice, and I just stopped. Just stopped, because I was like, no, let's not do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys did something like that when you were in elementary school or junior high, because I believe that was for me scrub year of junior high. I came back to the U.S. when I was a 8th grader. Yeah. So speaking of that, side note, my older brother told me that I wasn't held back because I did not speak Spanish. I was held up because I guess I was dumb. But then I'm getting that is not true now that I think about it out loud, because you have to take a test, and then you'll be like, I don't know any of this. I don't know any of this. I'm way behind in mathematics and everything. Like, I was here in the U.S., so obviously I'm gonna be studying different things. So yeah, there's that. And you know what I don't understand about the educational system is that when people from Mexico come to the U.S. with their classes and everything or titles, that's kind of like, we don't care. They're not from here. So you have to like take the same classes or start all over, and that sucks. Unless you're in like elementary school or high school. But when it comes to college, I had a friend, which I did not know how old he was at the time because he did not look it. Let's just say I was 22, he was 34, going to college. Yeah, and he would party with us and everything, and everything was fine and happy. But he was president of the newspaper club. He was involved with the school and everything, taking on classes. And then they told him, you know what, all your studies that you did abroad don't count. You will have to start all over. And he's like, I'm gonna have to go to like all the classes that I've been taking meant nothing. I still don't understand that part. But they told him he needed to have a high school diploma because technically he didn't have one because it wasn't here in the U.S. And he just stopped going to school after that. That kind of breaks my heart. I graduated from college, community college, Transfer University, but I couldn't get any of the classes because I was on the waiting list. And my brother told me, oh dude, you're on the waiting list, you're not going to get it because it's different. Waiting list in university from college are so different. And I'm like, no, I got this. No, didn't get any of the classes or anything. And I, in my head, thank God I'm done with school. Now that I look back, I'm like, man. But hey, here we are living in this apartment, living the life, right? No. Side note, in my job, there's a girl who's gonna go to Yale. Congrats to her. I'm literally looking up to her. I'm like, I see the drive and determination on you. I see that go-to attitude, which I'm not gonna say I don't have it. I just don't express it. It's more like I'm doing my job. Like, hey, I need help. Okay, all right. Yeah, no problem. No problem. You're good. You're good. All right, there you go. Thank you. Like that. That's me. And she's more like, yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I'm here to help you. What's up? I can do it. I'm more like, no. Like, if I will go out of my way to help someone, if I feel like it, but not to completely help someone. Does that make me a horrible person? Maybe, but I'm okay with it. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Anyway, you guys, this is 9 months of hair. I'm gonna say 9 months because tomorrow's a new day, it's a new month, and that's the 8th month. And I started this in December, so this is 9 months. I have not had my hair like this in a while, or my beard for that matter. It's been a hot minute. I wonder what to say minute. Yeah. So there's that. I just wanted to show you a story from an event of my life. There's so many meaningful memories that I have that I'm like, I'm glad I have them, but then I'm like, as you grow older, you forget a lot of them. And let me just share one. One was when I was hanging out with one of my best friends at the time, and we're hanging out, and it's so. He picks me up in his car because obviously I don't drive. Till this day, I don't drive. No, not much has changed. He picks me up and he's like, "All right, we're gonna hang out. I'm gonna take you to this place." Okay, totally forgot about that story. Let me tell you about the story that I actually do remember. Okay. Okay. So he's like, "We should hang out. This is me. Awesome. I'm down." Because I'm desperate for friends, and he literally went out of his way to talk to me. I literally told him like, "Dude, like." He's like, dude, you're weird. Like, you're being so rude to me. Like, and this is me. Exactly. I'm being rude to you. So you can just stop talking to me because it doesn't make sense to hang out with someone who's rude and who doesn't want anyone to be with you. And when I mean be with you, I'm not saying like date or anything. Just like be with next to you or hanging out with you in general. And he's like, dude, you need to stop being that way. Like, it's not going to take you anywhere. And then when he said that, that kind of wore me down because I was tired of being, like the loner, what people, quote unquote, people call me, quote unquote, what was not back then emo, but I guess you can call it emo. So I said, okay, fine, let's hang out. I'm like all excited, all jazzed up, like I'm gonna wear my shoes, my pants, and a cool t-shirt because I want to look cool. This guy's kind of cool. He has a good vibe. I need to not be that one downer friend. Right? So anyway, he said we're gonna hang out, right? And then my dad is like, "Hey, where are you going? We're gonna work." And I said, "I don't want to work. I want to hang out with my friend." And he's like, "No. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you." I hate that. I used to hate that. And I said, I'm sorry, Dad, but I'm going to hang out with my friend. And that's it. Ooh, that was one of the few times actually, step over my dad. I'm surprised my dad didn't even kick my ass. And I mean, kick my ass. He said, you know what? If you leave, don't bother coming back. And I was like, shit. Anyway, I drove my brother's bike, and my friend was on a skateboard. We're riding, and he's like, hey, we should go hang out with my cousin at his house. I'm like, okay, I'm down. I don't know where he lives. I don't know how far it is. And he's like, do you want to leave your bike so we can just go? And I was like, I guess. And then I was like, you know what, I think I should go because my dad's gonna be angry. And he told me something that it didn't get to me at the time, but because I have more sons. He's like, what, does he has your balls in your head? That doesn't work with me. It just doesn't. And I'll be like, no, no, but you know, I didn't tell him that he said, if you go hang with your friend, don't bother coming back. Anyway, I I said, you know what, let's go. In my head, I'm gonna be homeless. I'm gonna have this adventure. I'm gonna be like doing what I have to do to survive. That's what's going through my head. When you're a teenager and you think you don't, I don't think I knew. I don't think I knew everything, but you know, you're like, okay, I had vitality or something. But I was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna be homeless. But I'm gonna enjoy this one day. I'm gonna enjoy this one day, and it's gonna be the day that I said, no, Dad, you don't get to tell me what to do. Yeah, logic, right? Anyway, so I sneaked to my house. I opened the gate from the back because we live in a duplex. Lived. And left the bike. Went out with my friend. The battery's dying. No, please don't die. Okay, the battery's dying. And me and my friend walking. We're talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna take you to this place where there's like a two-headed snake." And I was like, "Wow, two-headed snake, awesome! I want to see this." Anyway, we ended up walking, and we had to take the bus. And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I think I had money because I was working back then. I said, "Okay, we'll take the bus." And back then the bus was $1. Now it's $2 for one ride. So I said, "Okay." So we took the bus, and we needed to take another bus. So we got off, and I said, "Man, I'm hungry." And he said, "Okay, let's eat." We went to Burger King, and back then I think that was the first time I ever had Burger King in my life. So when I ate it, I thought it was like the most amazing thing in the world, especially because it was me buying my own Burger King with my own money, if that makes sense. Because that was at the time that I met my friend, that friend, when I started my first paying job. My first job was with my dad. And that was my first paying job that I work in retail. And then I was making my own money. It was nice to buy my own things. And it was, what sucks is that back then, you know, my dad, if he didn't like something of yours, he would just rip it or destroy it. I remember my back then my brother had some CDs from the band called Molotov. And he literally went, and we were like, why did you do that? Because he didn't want us to listen to that kind of music. But when you look back, I'm like, that your music is more scandalous than the one we do. But hey, yeah. So I remember this one time I went with that same friend to a mall. That was the first time I went to a mall to shop and look. I've been to malls, but I was working with my dad because he found a job where he was kind of like the not kind of he wasn't a custodian, but he was a guy who cleaned. So if that makes sense, like he was hired by this company to clean specific stores, but he wasn't like the custodian where, you know, the custodian who has to drag all the stuff and equipment and be at the mall. No, it was like a second party for these stores, and I will be there vacuuming, cleaning, and everything. And that was when I was working inside of Talbot's, working inside of Banana Republic, or working inside of other two stores that I forgot the name of. But they were nice. The people were nice. They're like, "Oh, hey, you're that guy," and "Oh, you're with your kids, cool." We were cleaning everything, and they would get paid, and I wouldn't get paid. So back to the main story. Sorry. So me and my friend, we ended up going to the place, which it's still there. Sometimes I'll pass it on the bus when I go visit my older brother, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, two-headed snake!" And then I was like, "Get some food, feed the like this big koi fish." So I got some. I was telling my friend, "Hey, do you want to feed the koi fish? I have enough. I bought enough." He's like, "No, it's fine." Back then it was different because it seemed like I was a friend with all the money, and he was the friend with the locations and places and interesting things to go and see. And he's the one who introduced me to Buffalo Chain, so he's the one who introduced me to downtown Fullerton and all these other places. Then we go to all these parties, like mansion parties and things like that. That's one of the main reasons why Not not that I said that I'm gonna be with I'm gonna continue being with his friends with him because he took me to all these cool places, but it was a plus. But he was a friend who knew people and knew places, and I was a friend who had money because I didn't have any bills back then. He was the kind of guy who always wanted to get a raise, who saw better. He would always talk about potential and how to move forward and everything. I was the kind of guy who would be like, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know. I don't aspire. I didn't aspire for much back then, other than me just being happy. That was my goal, just be happy. And he was more. We need to have this. We need to have capital and everything. And that's great. And then after a while, he had a car, and then we drove everywhere. And I would offer to buy gas. I'll be like, hey, do you want to hang out? He's like, no, I don't have gas money. I'm like, oh, I have gas money. Like, I'll give you gas money. And I'll be like, and after a while, it became me asking him, do you want to hang out? And he'd be like, oh, no. Like, the tables have turned, Charlie Murphy. But, yeah. Long story short, we went to see the two-headed snake and everything. We ended up taking the bus back home. We visited his family. I met his cousins, which he is now dead. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know how he died, but he died, and that devastated him. And that was like one of the main reasons why we stopped talking, because he just wanted to be alone. I wanted to hang out with him, and he didn't want to, so I gave him his space. Obviously, I gave him his space. He tried to come back, but then it was just not the same, so I'd rather just have my memories of hanging out with that friend. Anyway, like I said, long story short, I came back home late at night, and it was feeling weird because I did come back home. I was having a great day, just thinking that I'm gonna be homeless and going to all these places and being cool. He My dad didn't say anything. He was like, "Oh, you're home," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm home." Okay. And I guess that was my dad knowing that, okay, um, this is him now. It's gonna be rebellious, I guess. But I mean, how old was I? 19, 20, 21. Anyway, gotta go, you guys. Thankfully, hopefully this you guys like these stories, because I think I'm gonna have more stories to come. All right, bye guys. Gotta go. Gotta eat. Gotta make food. Bye.